Good morning and welcome in, everyone. Before we get into this morning's update, I want to go over a quick overview of what we're seeing transpire. This was one of my fears yesterday, not for us that were already in the market and were able to watch this pump happen and already be in our positions. I was worried about the ones who bought in on a thinly traded Sunday before the ETFs were open and before the flip of the clock on Sunday night, which was 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time last night. I was afraid that everybody who got in after the news, because it takes an hour or two for regular retail, maybe a couple hours after that, they start seeing 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 60% pumps in some tokens, and they FOMO in. And just based on the conversation I had yesterday within the live and just understanding how the Telegram is, you can definitely tell that it's an emotional weight on some that are definitely not in something, and they took the moment and said, the hell with this, I'm going to buy anything and everything. And then all of a sudden, after that initial surge, now you've got 5 to 10 to 15% across the board. Some are down right now, which it's not the end of the world. By no means is it the end of the world. We'll see a true interpretation of what's going to happen today. But before 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we generically have this downward. Now today, because we had the downward spiral the whole night and leading into the morning, there is the potential here now for the quick reversal at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But I want to show one thing on Bitcoin, and I'll do the intro. I want to do this, though, because if you look at kind of like, if you extend this out, whoops, not that. If you extend this yellow line out, which was the nice consolidation we had. Now, I put it right here because you come through. This is basically, to me, I've seen other people do this, and they actually put it up a little higher to put this as a resistance right now, which is, I think it's inaccurate. And it's like not any main substance of who I seen do this, nor is it relevant, but the way they had it was they had extended it out, and this was actually over the top, and I disagree because you had a resistance here on the 25th, or the 20th, another resistance here at the 24th, and then it kind of came up and back through, so it was a little fake out here on the 30th of January, and then it ended up being that resistance line, little fake out over the top, tried to use it as support, fell back under, had a catastrophic drop, came back up. Now we're trying to use it as support. So I don't see this as a bearish consolidation. I see this as something bigger. Like the ETFs are going to open today, and I think they're setting Bitcoin up, and as long as this doesn't break through, I think they're setting Bitcoin up, and this is actually a little flag here that formed. And I think it's trying to set up something like this, and that could get Bitcoin all the way back up to that 107,000 if this plays out. And we know the cycle target was 122K. The fact it came down to that technical drop target at 78,400 was nothing short of spectacular. And yeah, there was a little bit lower at 74,980 had it have fallen through, but it didn't. And that could have been the drop from that resistance on the broadening wedge and then a breakdown. But because of the way the pattern had consolidated out, Bitcoin ended up using this pretty damn good here. You got that stationary support on the broadening wedge. It broke down below. We had a short target that was our technical target of 78,452. And I'm just going to delete this for now, because it does seem like we used 78,400, and that was the technical drop target. Now, we were looking for a little bit lower, just so it could come back towards that little gap area, but the way it came down, one could argue that that's within the range of that gap that was there, and I'm not going to argue that, not now. And I think this is actually bullish right now for Bitcoin in the 4-hourly. It's got a beautiful 4-hour candle. It looks like, to me, Bitcoin's going to try to spark here towards 100K. I think that's what it's trying to set up here. So am I optimistic for this morning and this week? Yes. Am I also a little frustrated with the timing of this? Yes. Because we have the tariffs on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. So we'll see what Trump says. And he doesn't look like he's backing down from the tariffs this time. So that's going to be something interesting. Make sure you pay attention to that XRP information that I just showed you. With the Bitcoin. XRP is the same way, though. I feel ultra optimistic because we've not only broken out, we built this nice flag. And that consolidation was absolutely necessary. We talked about this backtest at 264. How we even talked about going all the way down to 250. And look what happened. It came down and tested that 250. And yesterday on the way up, we backtested 240. So we actually cleared out these areas of backtest perfectly. Like when I say perfectly, I mean perfectly. And then you ride this from the 200-day support, where we're trying to have this golden cross here, and the back test, and now the technical target gets you up to that 342. We all know that target out of the descending wedge, and then what ended up forming here into a little bit larger pattern, this little falling channel that we identified as a neckline for an inverse head and shoulders right here. Before there was even any inverse right shoulder, we had to guess back here that this is how it could play out. Did we think it would hit perfectly like that? We didn't know. But we thought if it came down, we had a better than not shot of holding around $2.09 if it was going to hold. I know Nick had a perfect rendition of this too at 206, which ended up hitting 100% perfectly, if I'm not mistaken. Like, his charting was spectacular. And then, $1.96 as well at the bottom where we talked about. That was a short-term target at 196 or 198. But just this area, being able to find this area, have this nice bullish Gartley, now forming what looks like a bull flag, back testing the 4-hourly 200-day. Because we hit it from a sign of support, not resistance, this is a bullish reversal. Now we'll see if we have follow through, but this is exactly what you want to see waking up. Like, I know there's a lot of red, but this is exactly what you want to see waking up, so don't get discouraged. Good morning. 8:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, March 3rd, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So, we know that XRP, ADA, Solana, Bitcoin, and Ethereum were announced as part of the strategic reserve. But remember, there has not been a strategic reserve made yet. There's only the creation of a panel, so to say, to see how relevant this is going to be. As of right now, he signed that into order, but that doesn't mean that he has signed the crypto reserve. All he said was we're going to study in this executive order, but I believe we're going to have some kind of reserve. I've been poaching XRP since 2021, and some of you have been here for all that time. You know, I've never missed a day of doing these updates since March 28th of 2021, which is now almost it's 4 years now. We've been at 4 years in this community without missing a single day of updates. I take great pride in that, and there's been a lot of ups and downs from personal to whatever, but I believe it's important for us to continue being transparent, and not just me, but all of you showing up as well. And now when I first started, we might get 100, 200 views a video, and now we get 2,000, 3,000 views a video. And in 4 years, I believe we've done a tremendous job. We went from 3 subscribers to 31,300. So it's a pretty special place we're in right now, and it's pretty cool to be with all of you, I must say. So I got to get my son to school at 8:20, so we got to wrap this up. But I want you to remember, with the XRP Bitcoin pairing, yeah, it's down 8.2%. Sure, it's down. Sure, it makes it look a little strange, but it did come right up to that 3057 resistance. And now what we need to do is back test the breakout. Now all we're doing is back testing this area. It's perfect. We are absolutely perfectly doing this how I would have wanted. We came back down to the 20-day where we had a golden cross. Remember when we came down to the weekly and tested it the same way? And we said Bitcoin or XRP looks to a bottom versus Bitcoin. And the weekly, when it came back down right here, came down and touched the 200-day and the 20-day where it was having that golden cross, which is a confirmation of a short-term pattern reversal. And this is more than just that, because that's in the weekly. Now look at the 4-hourly. It starts to emulate itself. We have a golden cross in the 4-hourly. We back tested the 20-day. Now, could it come through on an overzealous tug? Sure it could. Sure it could. But we're in that area of content now to where we could start reversing very quickly. Nice volume burst in the 4-hourly, and now on the way back down, crashing price, crashing volume. Perfect recipe for a continuation. I see nothing here that makes me nervous this morning. The only thing that makes me nervous is the optics of tomorrow with the tariffs. But as far as crypto goes, it's doing exactly what it needs to do. And I would be shocked if it doesn't have some kind of reversal here today. Not saying it's going to go to the moon, but I do believe we're going to have some kind of reversal today. Even Ethereum's having this golden cross, or I mean a bullish cross. It's double bottomed. It did not come all the way to 1,903 like we improperly predicted, because this was not up where it was supposed to be at the break. Oh my god. No wonder that was so off. Yeah, so I did myself a disservice. So it came down to 2,075. Yeah, this is pretty much in the area. It came really close. It even created a new bottom here. So it did exactly what it needed to do. So we're going to continue to watch this. Once you get past this resistance at 2,460, Ethereum's going to start to bounce up, and it's going to try to come all the way up to 3,200. That's going to be a significant move if this happens. First, you'd have to clear 2,850. But I got to go. I'm XRP Future Millionaire. Me and Julie have to get our son to school at 8:30. And we have our kitchen they're working on today. So it's going to be a busy 3 weeks here. But I'll still be here. I'm going to try to do the lives at the hotel tonight. And as long as the internet works properly, I'll be able to do the lives. It's a high-speed internet, so I'm assuming it'll be good. If you're looking to trade XRP, your favorite crypto, try BITUNIX, lowest spot and leverage trading fees, lowest maker-taker. Even when some of the exchanges yesterday had pricing that would have been a little more expensive to buy, BITUNIX was on point. Crypto.com had a little bit of up and down, and it happens when there's high times of volatility with not as many tokens being available. And yesterday there was a run on XRP and many others. But BITUNIX stayed transparent. And they have the lowest maker-taker fee. So if you're looking for leverage as well, that's the place to go. But all the other choices there are what I use. I appreciate everybody in Tom's Army. Everybody who's ever sent a YouTube super chat. I greatly appreciate you paying it forward and helping me put out my content and allowing me to keep the model of everything is free. I've never charged for anything I do, and I don't hide behind paywalls. So again, I thank all of you as we're approaching our 4 years straight of doing this without a day off. March 28th will be our 4-year anniversary, so it's pretty crazy. Have a blessed day, everybody. Don't forget to give thanks to your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Stay humble, show humility, and in the comments, if you made it till the end, hashtag be better, do better in the comments.